Taylor Schultz, custom painter from Northern California, talking about the new aerosol line from US Chemical. There's 17 products in this line, ranging from primer surfacers, etch primers, glass cleaner, trim black, Geico black. So what we're gonna do, we worked on this panel earlier, did a repair. We're gonna demonstrate some of the primer surfacers. Guide coat. And then we're gonna talk about some of the other products as well. So we're gonna take this 51002 primer surfacer gray. I'm gonna do a little bit of trim work here. We're gonna mask it off. I'm gonna apply some of this, show you guys how to apply it. And then we're gonna do some guide coating. As you can tell, I'm not wearing a respirator. I know that I'm not wearing a respirator, but for the point of this video, I'm not wearing one so I can do what I'm doing now, which is talk to you. So I'm well aware of it, but otherwise, gloves, safety glasses are a must. We're just gonna sand this back. We're gonna feather it back, some 500. Then we're gonna mask this, and we're gonna use the primer surfacer. All right, so we're just gonna mask this off so I can apply the primer surfacer. I don't know if you guys do this or not, but I usually go like this. Fold the paper over, that way it leaves a nice little feather edge instead of having a hard line. So just like any aerosol, you wanna hear that marble in there bouncing around. So once you do that, I usually put them upside down too. I shake it for at least 1.5 to 5 minutes. Just to get everything agitated in there. So I'm just taking one of our Magic Blue USC tack rags. I'm just gonna tack this off before applying it. Already wiped it down with some paint prep solvent. So you wanna stay at least 8 to 10 inches away, 3 to 5 minutes in between coats. So now we're gonna apply some guide coat. Same thing, we're gonna wait for this agitator inside. Shake it up for a few minutes and just apply it just over a couple coats. So what guide coat is it's just usually a black going over a gray and a black going over a lighter solid primer. And what it does is when you sand it, you're gonna be able to see any imperfection easier. The black is gonna stay on any low spots, so that way you can tell the highs and lows and any imperfections in the primer easier than you could if you were to just sand it without using that, because you're just not gonna see it. So it's always a go-to. Some guys use it even when they're polishing. I've seen guys do it on runs, where they'll have a run in the clear coat and they'll guide coat it and sand with that just to know where they're at. Make sure that they get the run completely out, which is kind of a cool technique as well. So all we did was apply 3 coats of our primer. I got a piece of 600 grit GA paper. We just put it on a block. Now you can really see what the guide coat does. You can see the feather edge, you can see some of the highs and lows. So we're just gonna keep sanding until all that stuff goes away. All right, part of this arsenal of aerosols is some of these primers. Now what we have here are some self-etching primers, which is good for bare metal. We have a weld-through primer, so if you're putting 2 panels together and you need to put some sort of epoxy type product in between it while you weld, there's definitely this. There's a flexible primer, great for moldings, bumpers, trim. And then there's just the generic primer surfacers that come in 3 different colors, a black, a dark gray, and a light gray. So there's 3 different gloss values in this system. There's a semi, there's a flat, and there's a regular gloss enamel. So this is perfect for any time that you just want to spot in any type of system. And we have a trim black, which is good for any rocker moldings, any pillars, or any above the glass on certain vehicles have this. So if you want to repair it real quick, definitely a great option for that. Plastic on automotive stuff is always troublesome, to say the least. But with this system, in an aerosol, you have a cleaner for plastics, you have an adhesion promoter for plastics, and you have a flexible primer surfacer for plastic. So it kind of takes the guesswork out of doing anything with plastic. So once this point, you can do your base and your clear coat work after that, and it's an easy alternative. Rather than mixing up some sort of product, you can just have it right here in aerosol. So anytime you have a vehicle and you gotta clear the quarter, but you don't want to clear the whole roof because there's no break point, there's no belt molding, there's nothing there to stop it. What you usually do is a blend. So with this color blender, clear coat blender, what you can do is you can apply your clear to that quarter, finish your repair off with maybe 1,000, 1,500, and then wet that edge with this blender and let that melt right in. So I do a lot of pinstripe work. And when I go out on the road to go to a body shop or something like that to replace some pinstriping, what I usually like to do is I don't like to bring my whole gallon of surface cleaner or wax and grease remover or anything like that. I love having a surface cleaner in an aerosol can for that application. So this is usually my go-to. It's a low VOC surface cleaner and prep. Give it a shot, you won't be disappointed at all. So there you have it. We finished off our primer, guide coat, we sanded it back. It's ready for base coat. You know, to be honest with you, I was a little scared about aerosol stuff at first, but once you get used to the product, give it a shot. It's just another thing in your arsenal of paint that you can use. And for me, if I needed to do a quick repair or something where I wasn't in a location where I had access to air, compressed air, and I needed something to do the job, I mean, anything from the primers to just the surface cleaner, it's just one less thing that you have to worry about having in a can or having to mix up in a spray gun. So go ahead and give it a shot. You're not going to be disappointed in this product, I guarantee it. USC Aerosols.